MTV just pulled the plug on their remaining music video channels, ending a 44-year era that began in 1981.
Rock the cradle of love. Rock the cradle of love.
But long before streaming killed the video star, MTV was busy shaping rock history.
She's a beauty.
The 1980s were a battleground between rock rebellion and corporate censorship, where a single band video could make or break a band's career. Today, we're counting down 13 rock songs from the 80s that were too dangerous, too explicit, or too controversial for MTV's airwaves. Plus, we'll reveal a bonus entry that will blow your mind. Let's dive in. Number 13. When one of the biggest bands in the world traded guitars for groove and stripped down. Literally. MTV wasn't ready for what they saw. These arena legends had their video banned for being too bare for early 80s cable TV. Queen, Body Language, 1982.
I got a case of body language.
Released after the success of Another One Bites the Dust, Body Language pushed Queen into dance and synth territory and deep into controversy. The video featured nearly nude dancers, steam-filled rooms, and Freddie Mercury himself in tight leather, dripping with sweat and attitude.
Body language. Body language.
MTV quickly banned it, citing nudity and overt sexual content. Several U.S. stations refused to air it at all, making it one of the first high-profile music videos censored by the network. For Queen, it was proof that rock didn't need guitars to shock, just confidence, rhythm, and a camera that didn't look away.
A body language. A body language.
Number 12. When one of the loudest, wildest bands in metal history made a video featuring graveyards, explosions, and a frontman rising from the dead on a motorcycle, MTV hit the brakes fast. Motörhead, Killed by Death, 1984. The video opens with Lemmy roaring through flames before taking on cops, electric chairs, and pure chaos. It was part heavy metal fantasy, part rebellion, and way too much for MTV. The network refused to air it in regular rotation, calling it violent, destructive, and in poor taste. Fans, of course, loved every second. Lemmy later said, if that's too much for MTV, they must live very sheltered lives. The band only made Killed by Death louder, a cult classic that turned censorship itself into a punchline. Number 11. When a California rock band built an amusement park of forbidden fantasies, MTV decided some rides were too risky to show. The Tubes, She's a Beauty, 1983.
She's a beauty.
Frontman Fee Waybill played a sleazy carnival barker inviting viewers to climb into a human peep show, a glass booth full of dream girls and desire. The whole thing was tongue-in-cheek, a satire on lust and marketing excess. MTV didn't see the irony. They initially rejected the video, calling it too suggestive, before airing a censored version that cut away from the more risque shots.
You can step outside your little world.
Despite the controversy, or because of it, She's a Beauty became the Tube's biggest hit, peaking in the top 10 and proving once again that nothing sells quite like the illusion you're not supposed to watch.
She's a beauty.
Number 10. When a shock rock band teamed up with a horror icon and the cast of The Undead, MTV said, no thanks. Twisted Sister, Be Cruel to Your School, 1985.
Be cruel to your school in the name of rock and roll.
After the huge success of We're Not Gonna Take It, Dee Snider doubled down on rebellion, this time taking it to high school. The video for Be Cruel to Your School featured zombies, gore, and Alice Cooper himself leading the undead in a classroom uprising. Shot like a low-budget horror flick, it was packed with prosthetic guts, chainsaws, and rotting students. MTV refused to air it, calling the clip too gross and offensive. The network's decision effectively banned the video, and Snider later joked that it had been treated like an NC-17 movie. Ironically, the over-the-top parody of censorship got censored itself, making Be Cruel to Your School one of the strangest casualties of MTV's 1980s moral panic. Number 9. Sometimes a band's reputation precedes them, and this next group's video was banned before MTV executives even finished watching it. Wasp, Animal, Fuck Like a Beast, 1984. Wasp's most notorious song created an immediate firestorm. The clip featured Blackie Lawless in bondage gear, simulated torture devices, and imagery MTV deemed pornographic. The video was banned within hours of submission. Record stores refused to stock the album, and the band found themselves at the center of a national debate about rock music's influence on youth. Number 8. When a punk band known for politics released a song that mocked both war and censorship, MTV loved it, until the world went to war again. Which British rebels saw their most popular video suddenly vanish from TV screens overnight? The Clash, Rock the Casbah, 1982. The video, featuring an Arab sheik and a Hasidic Jew dancing through the desert, was bold, ironic, and loaded with anti-war symbolism. But when the Gulf War broke out in 1991, MTV pulled Rock the Casbah from regular rotation, fearing its imagery of bombing and Middle Eastern caricatures would appear insensitive. What began as satire became collateral damage in real-life conflict, teaching us that even protest songs can't outrun the times they're written in. Number 7. When punk's most outspoken band decided to call out MTV by name, the result was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Dead Kennedys, MTV, Get Off the Air, 1985.
MTV, get off the MTV, get off the MTV, get off the air!
Jello Biafra and the Dead Kennedys recorded a blistering attack on MTV itself, accusing the network of selling out rock rebellion and turning it into corporate product. The lyrics mocked MTV VJs, advertisers, and plastic rock stars of the era. There was never an official video submission. MTV wouldn't have touched it, but the song's message spread fast through underground channels, and MTV quietly blacklisted the band. They refused to air any Dead Kennedys material and avoided mentioning them by name for years. In the end, MTV proved the band's point. By censoring the critics, they became exactly what punk warned about. Number 6. When one of thrash metal's sharpest minds poured his pain into a song about loss and depression, MTV didn't see art, they saw danger. Which frontman turned personal grief into one of the heaviest songs of the decade? Megadeth, In My Darkest Hour, 1988. Dave Mustaine's brooding masterpiece was inspired by the death of Metallica's bassist Cliff Burton. But MTV focused on something else entirely. The dark tone, isolated imagery, and references to despair had executives terrified the video might promote suicidal thoughts. MTV restricted the video to late-night airplay and slapped it with warnings, while some affiliates refused to show it at all. Instead of backing down, Mustaine leaned in. The controversy boosted Megadeth's underground reputation and cemented their place as metal's thinking man's band. Number 5. When rock's most notorious bad boys decided to make a video about their favorite pastime, they created footage so explicit that MTV executives needed therapy. Motley Crue, Girls, 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 1987. The original version was filmed at actual strip clubs and featured topless footage. MTV banned it immediately, demanding extensive edits. The final version that aired was heavily censored, with strategic camera angles and digital blurring. Even the edited version only aired during late-night hours with content warnings. Number 4. When one of the most iconic artists of the 1980s released a song that blurred the line between funk, rock, and something far more explicit, MTV faced a tough question. Was it art, or was it porn? Prince, Erotic City, 1984.
Erotic City, come alive.
Released as the B-side to Let's Go Crazy, Erotic City quickly took on a life of its own, a pulsing mix of guitar, funk bass, and whispered moans that left censors sweating. The chorus, "We Can Funk Until the Dawn," was widely interpreted as something far less innocent.
Erotic City, can't you see? Fuck so pretty, you and me.
Though Prince never made a video, MTV refused to air any live performance of it, citing its sexual content. For MTV, it wasn't just the lyrics, it was the vibe. Prince had crossed the line between sexy and scandalous. Ironically, the band only made it bigger. Erotic City became a cult hit without even touching MTV's airwaves. Prince didn't need permission to be provocative, just a beat.
Thoughts of you in my eyes. You're a sinner.
Number 3. When one of rock's biggest bands sent MTV a video that was part action flick, part fever dream, the network didn't know whether to laugh or hit the eject button. Van Halen, Oh Pretty Woman, 1982. Their offbeat cover of the Roy Orbison classic came with a video unlike anything MTV had seen. The band dressed as superheroes, Tarzan, a samurai, Napoleon, and a cowboy, rescuing a damsel in distress who turns out to be a drag performer. The clip opened with the woman bound and harassed by 2 men, followed by surreal comedy and gender-bending twists. MTV executives balked. They deemed the opening scene offensive and the reveal in bad taste. The video was temporarily pulled from rotation and only allowed back after edits trimmed the more aggressive, suggestive moments. It became one of MTV's earliest censorship calls, not for nudity or language, but for being too weird for 1982 cable TV. Number 2. When one of MTV's biggest rock stars released a comeback single that mixed seduction, scandal, and a banned comedian, the network didn't know what to do. This leather-clad icon had his video pulled, not for what he did, but for who appeared in it. Billy Idol, Cradle of Love, 1990.
Rock the cradle of love. Rock the cradle of love.
Directed by David Fincher, the video showed Idol snarling from TV screens while a young woman turned up the heat in a businessman's apartment. MTV limited it to late-night airplay, but the real reason was off-screen. The video originally featured clips from The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, starring Andrew Dice Clay, who'd just been banned from MTV after his filthy 1989 awards show routine, MTV pulled it until a new cut erased every trace of Dice. It makes this 80s list because the scandal started there, in 1989, when Dice's meltdown set off one of MTV's most infamous bands. By the time Cradle of Love hit, the damage was done.
You are the cradle of love. Yes, baby,
Number 1. When a dangerous new band from LA hit MTV with a video so raw it felt like a crime scene, the network didn't know what to do. So they tried to bury it. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, 1987. When Geffen Records first submitted the clip, MTV flat out refused to air it, calling it raw and too disturbing for their format. The video showed Axl Rose arriving in Los Angeles, falling into addiction, and being strapped into a chair for electroshock therapy while the city devoured him. MTV finally agreed to test it once, at 4 a.m., on a single station. Viewer response exploded. Within days, MTV had it in heavy rotation, and a new era of dangerous rock was born.
Welcome to the jungle, it gets worse here every day. You learn to live like a man.
It was the ultimate censorship backfire. A song MTV didn't want to touch became the anthem that defined its decade. And while the band would later push the network too far with the band It's So Easy video in 1989, Welcome to the Jungle proved one thing. If you scare MTV enough, they'll end up making you a legend.
Welcome to the jungle, feel my.
Bonus! What happens when the biggest rock band in the world creates a video so disturbing that MTV executives refuse to even discuss it publicly? The Rolling Stones, Undercover of the Night, 1983.
Undercover of the night.
Set in a fictional South American dictatorship, the video showed graphic scenes of torture, political assassinations, and state violence so realistic they traumatized MTV staff. Mick Jagger is brutally tortured by soldiers, civilians are executed in the streets, and the imagery was so intense, several employees reportedly walked out during the first screening. MTV didn't just ban the video, they erased it until they received a heavily edited version, only to be played during late-night hours.
All I'll say, undercover. All I'll say.
The censorship debate spilled into the press. Some praised its realism, others said it went too far. Far from disappearing, the controversy gave the Stones one of their most infamous videos. A reminder that when art mirrored the evening news, even MTV had to draw the line somewhere. These bands shaped not just MTV, but rock music itself. Which of these censored videos do you think had the biggest impact on music history? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.